What's up, guys? I hope you are well. Chadio here. Today, I am checking out the animated history of England, Part 1. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. I am looking forward to watching this, getting to know a little bit more about England. So, let's get into it, shall we?
This episode is supported by CuriosityStream. Use the URL curiositystream.com/Sweeney and use the code Sweeney for 1 month free.
Sweeney Todd.
A soldier peers through the brush of the forest to the camp of the Anglo-Saxons on Baden Hill. On his patrol, he notices a wandering band of heathens foraging for food. He stays hidden in the undergrowth and quietly nocks an arrow. He recalls his king, a nobleman of Britain, sound of mind and a warrior for his god, who carried a cross on his back for 3 days as a sign of his piety. The Britons name him Arthur. He clears the sweat from his brow, draws his bow, and
come on,
awaits
Robin
the
Hood,
signal
you can
from
do it.
his lord.
Let's go. Oh, wow. That escalated quickly, didn't it? Real quick, I really enjoy watching these. I think they're fun. They're engaging, which is great for me being ADD. So I like them because they're engaging. The animations are really entertaining. There's some humor slapped in here with a lot of great facts.
The small kingdom on these fair isles, within touching distance of the European continent, would have a profound impact on world history. England, land of the Angles and Saxons, would conquer their neighbours and the whole world. But long before there was an England, or even before the Anglo-Saxons arrived, the land was inhabited by a mystical and warrior-like Celtic culture known as the Britons.
Cool.
The Celts had originated as a proto-civilization in the Hallstatt culture before migrating to most of Central and Western Europe.
They're way
The
far
Celts in
inland,
Britain
weren't
became
they?
what we now call the Insular Celts, divided into numerous tribes, most of whom were retroactively called Britons. Britannia was the ancient Greek word possibly meaning painted ones, although the residents of England probably called their land Albion. Rome conquered England over several campaigns, bringing with them fortified Roman-style towns, baths, aqueducts, and circuses, and tons of roads.
Nice.
Roman life thrived in Britain, and the money paid to the station legions there contributed greatly to the British economy. Emperor Hadrian's Wall now stands as a symbol of the extent of Roman control over the world.
Wow.
But they did often control areas north of the boundary in modern-day Scotland. They ruled the area for more than 3 centuries, fighting periphery peoples such as the Picts and Scots in Caledonia, as well as rebellious tribes in the south, most famous of which was Boudica, the Iceni queen who plundered the Roman cities.
Boudica.
She is seen as a hero in English folktales and a symbol of British resistance. During the late Roman period, the Romans often enlisted the help of Germanic mercenaries to protect their lands, mostly the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes of modern-day Denmark and Germany.
Yep.
Christianity also arrived during this period due to the interconnectedness of the empire, and St. Albion became the first British martyr killed for his faith. During the very messy Roman collapse, the legions of Rome were called out of Britain and its status as a province would effectively end at this date. The Anglo-Saxons took advantage of the Roman collapse and invaded the island in 449, under the leadership of 2 brothers, Hengist and Horsa. The invasion was a mixed success, but would spur a huge continued migration of the Anglo-Saxons to form the basis of the first foundations of England, as the name literally means land of the Angles.
Yep.
The Britons fought hard against the Germanics, which spurred the first example of British literary fiction in the Tales of King Arthur, a British king probably based on many figures. English history only really begins with the invasion of the Anglo-Saxons, who established small kingdoms. They abandoned Woden, Thor, and Frey and adopted Christianity, establishing St. Augustine as the first archbishop in Canterbury. They did retain their language, which we now call Old English, a relative of Old Low German, Franconian, and Frisian, and also their top-down rule with the custom of local rulers as appointed by the king, such as earls and aldermen. One kingdom usually held influence over the others, and was sometimes granted the title of overlord. This was first Kent, then East Anglia, and then Northumbria, who entered a period of particularly noteworthy literary and religious prominence, called the Northumbrian Golden Age, and then the Mercians, who got rich from plundering Wales. Northumbria and Mercia became rivals, and soon exhausted themselves to a point where the West Saxon Kingdom, or Wessex, came to fill the power vacuum. A notable king was Alfred the Great, who reformed Wessex's law, learning, trade policies, and created a standing army. This was mostly done in response to incursions by a brand new threat to the British Isles, the Vikings. The Vikings were Scandinavian cousins of the Anglo-Saxons, who slowly turned from traders to raiders, and who plundered the English coastline of unprotected and wealthy monasteries. The English called them Danes, as most of them were from Denmark, but some were from modern-day Norway as well. These Danes became a massive problem for the now Christian Anglo-Saxon kings and plunged the whole island into chaos. The English generally believed they were a scourge from God and spread fear of the brutality of the pagans. The Viking Danes would eventually land in Britain at the head of a great heathen army to conquer the island, but we'll come back to this story later.
Okay.
During both the Roman period and the Anglo-Saxon period, the invaders had to contend with the original inhabitants of Britain, the Celts, and continued to have border wars with these Celts in Scotland, Wales, and Cornwall. These were fierce Iron Age warrior-like people of mystical and enigmatic origin. To find out more about these people and how they arrived in Britain, why not check out this 3-part documentary over on CuriosityStream, hosted by the world-renowned Neil Oliver, to follow the history of the Celtic people and their remarkable migration to the British Isles from their homeland in ancient Austria. CuriosityStream is the best online streaming.
Oh my gosh, really? What a tease! A very little smidget early history of England, I guess. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do part 2 of the history of England. But with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.